A few years ago, a friend of mine planned on emigrating to Spain with the dream of her own language school and starting a new life in the sun. She'd never taught children before, and her two options were to either open her own school or buy into a franchise. But she soon realised that neither option was practical or affordable on the budget she had available. On one hand, opening a school meant complicated bureaucracy with high overhead costs like rent and furniture and publicity. And teaching children in after-school programmes meant she would pay for a space that for the majority of the day would be unused. The other problem with opening a school meant she would be restricted to teaching in one facility in town. And her fear was if another language school opened nearby, she would have direct competition for an already reduced client market. Her other option was to buy into an established franchise, but she would need a substantial loan from the bank to pay for the training, to rent a school, publicity, hire extra teachers, and above all, she would have to pay costly royalty fees every month. And the financial responsibility of running this business was just too much. And unfortunately, she eventually gave up on the idea and never moved. So based on her difficulties, I chose a different way when I started teaching children English in Italy. And at the time I had a young child and no extra finances available to open up my own school or franchise. But I knew there was a really high demand for English teachers, and I was determined to create a new teaching method that children would love, but that I could also adapt to fit around my personal and financial circumstances. So I came up with the idea of renting out spaces by the hour. Dance studios, nursery schools, theatre halls in different parts of town that attracted large numbers of children and at the same time kept my expenses to a minimum. And my fear of buying into an expensive franchise and being chained financially for life made me devise my own teaching method based on my theatre and music background, which luckily had an immediate response and quickly grew from strength to strength. And since then, I have taught thousands of children, and I feel really lucky doing something that I love. And if only back then there had been someone who could have shown me all the ins and outs of getting started teaching and saving time and money. And with the right training course, maybe even my friend might be in Spain living her dream right now too. This has convinced me to want to help others in difficulty by sharing my personal experience and teaching method with people passionate about teaching children, but just don't know where to begin. So to find out more about my training courses, come and find me on Facebook or drop me a line and I can send you some more information.